So I have a sensitive question related to the work that you do. I think that there's a really important message in compassion and conflict resolution. And I'm curious how you feel emotionally and spiritually about your son's killer now, and how has that affected your compassion for criminals or prisoners? Because it seems like there is a big challenge to be able to both be a victim of violent crime and also advocate for some of the people that are behind bars. You know, and how does somebody tell us how you're able to do that? I think the spiritual message in that is really the most important one.
Well, my son was killed in December 2001, so I am not today where I was then. Had you asked me this question back in 2001, maybe I wouldn't have been so spiritual and so Christian-like. But I mean, it is a part of my faith and my Christian walk to forgive. But more importantly, I think for me, is this whole walk, this whole journey that I've been on has opened my eyes to a much bigger picture. It's not just about Ernest Odom picking up a gun and killing Kalik over a parking space. There's so many other things that contribute to that. There's so many things that I've been able to look at differently. You know, the causes of violence, you know, the poor educational system that so many of our children are a part of, the way that our children get caught up in the drugs and the use and sale of drugs. And he was a part of all that. And in some ways, maybe he was a victim as well. As I said, I'm looking at it that way today. But there's some mothers who even question, we go into a prison on State Road that houses juveniles. Right now, there are probably about 100 juveniles that are all under the age of 18. And they've been court adjudicated as adults, mainly because of the type of crime they've committed. And in most cases, it's been a murder, you know, or armed robbery. And we've been going into that prison working with these juveniles for over 4 years. And some of the mothers will say, I can't do that. And I understand that because maybe, you know, in the beginning, I wouldn't have been able to do that. But we have one woman, Dr. Pat Griffin, who is committed to this and has been going in almost without stop for the last 4 years, 2 nights a week. And her son's murder was never caught. And some of the mothers will ask, how can you do that? You don't even know if you're talking to the person who killed your son. And she says, they are my sons. These are all young men under the age of 18 who've made a bad choice and picked up a gun. Now, are they bad people? Not necessarily. Are they bad boys or bad young men? Not necessarily. They're bad choices and bad decisions that they've made. I've seen some of them. I work with them. You know, these are kids who oftentimes our society's let them down. Adults have let them down. Drugs have been a part of their life, their parents' life, you know, the life that they've lived and the life that they've been a part of, you know, set them up for what they eventually did. And so it's bigger than my son's murder. It's how do you make a difference in spite of your own loss? You know, you look at a bigger picture where we're all victims in this. Some of the mothers in our organization have lost children, but their grandsons may be picking up a gun. Why? Because of the system that we live in that doesn't provide education on an equal basis across the board, that everyone is able to get a job and provide a decent life for their families. And is it all because of the color of their skin? I don't know. But I know it's a very unfair system that we work in, we live in, that we're a part of. So in spite of losing my son to violence, I know that I have to do this work.